Good morning, fantasy basketball fans. Chris here with Jagerbombs Fantasy Sports as well as DFSR.com to bring you my DFS NBA first look for DraftKings and FanDuel for Friday, November 26th. I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving yesterday and recovering today, possibly spending all that money on some Black Friday deals, making everyone in the family happy, maybe doing some early Christmas shopping. Either way, thanks for tuning in. What we're going to do here today is take a look at some matchups, some top plays, some injuries that are going to affect the slate. We're back with a huge slate here again tonight. Before we get started, if you're looking to get access to my content, to the cheat sheet, head over to patreon.com/Jagerbombs, and for $10 a month American, $13.50 Canadian, you can get our NBA package, which gives you access to that cheat sheet. Tons of stats. We're going to go over it everything that's in the cheat sheet here shortly. Also gives you access to our Discord channel and all of our coaches that are in there as well. You can also check us out for free by joining our Discord. We have a free trial in there. We also have the link to that in the description below, so make sure to check that out. You can also get content over at DFSR.com. We've got this nice matchups tab here. What you can check out there is this is looking at implied total for each team, the DFSR projected total, the over-under for the game, the projected over-under, the money line, as well as the spread, and then the projected spread based on our system. These numbers are going to change throughout the day. I like checking this about 20 to 30 minutes before lock, just to kind of get a grasp of where DFSR is projecting some of these games versus where the Vegas lines are sitting, see if we can get some advantages there from betting. From a DFS perspective, let's just go have a quick look at the NBA optimizer and projections here. Very early in the day, a lot of auditing to be done, but I give you a look at what the product actually looks like. So we got DraftKings, FanDuel, Yahoo, Classic, and Captain. You got all your slates here below. You've got all the games here below. So if you want to make a player pool just based on certain teams, you just come start checking the teams that you want exposure to if you want to do that, or specific games possibly, or you can come in here and start Xing players individually or locking players that you like and kind of build a player pool that way. Lots of filters over here on the side. You can build up to 1 to 50 lineups. And right now you can get a free trial, 7-day free trial. It's $29.99 a month, $29.95 a month for the package. And that gives you access to our NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, and PGA optimizers and projections, as well as all of my DFS cheat sheets over here as well. Like I said, 7-day trial going on right now, so make sure to go check that out. With that, also want to direct you at our social media. We've got a new TikTok. Just search up Jagerbombs Fantasy Sports. You will find me over there on TikTok doing about 2 to 3 videos a day, quick hits, core plays, top bets, things like that. Lots of stuff going on there, so make sure to check that out. Over on Twitter at Jaeger_bombs9, on Facebook at Jagerbombs Fantasy Sports, and on Instagram at Jagerbombs Fantasy Sports. Lots of stuff going on there as well. If you're not into the TikTok, I do convert those TikTok videos into stories or reels for Instagram and Facebook, so you can check those out there as well, and they do get shared to Twitter. So if you're only on one or if you're on all, please go check us out. Like, share with your friends, and follow us. It really helps out a lot. All right, let's get into the slate here. So huge slate here on Friday. There's only one game with a double-digit total. That's Utah at New Orleans. Probably avoiding that one from a DFS perspective. But first of all, let's talk about a couple of top matchups here. First up for me is Minnesota Timberwolves. They get a good matchup as Charlotte ranks 21st in defensive efficiency and 3rd in pace. That is always something I'm looking for right off the bat. Then we've got add on that it is the 3rd highest total on the slate, 222.5. And it's a very close spread here within 3 points. Minnesota is an underdog in this one, but that might be a good outright bet or spread bet early in the day that I do like. That's one that I will be checking on the DFSR tools, the betting tool, later on in the day, most definitely. But from a DFS perspective, most definitely looking at that game. Another one would be the Atlanta Hawks tonight. They are 1.5 point dogs, but it's the highest total on the slate. Projected close game here, which is very nice to see. Memphis is 30th, dead last in defensive efficiency and slightly below league average in terms of pace here, ranking 13th in the league. So that's one that we're going to want to pay attention to here tonight. And then the Sacramento Kings and Los Angeles Lakers game. It's got a 7-point spread. but it is the third highest total on the slate. Both teams, they rank 19th and 26th in defensive efficiency and 2nd and 7th in pace. There might be a lack of defense played in this one at a very fast pace. And if Sacramento can keep it close here, I think there is a lot of fantasy plays that could hit and definitely exceed value in this game. And it is the late game as well. It might be one we want to look at from a showdown perspective. Make sure to pay attention to our Discord chat later in the day. So those are some games we want to look at. Now let's look at some injuries. This is our injury thread in our Discord chat. I fill this out every single day. And as the news comes in, I've also got a last updated time and date on there so that you can tell when the last update was. So we got some big injuries here that we're going to want to follow. A couple big ones here tonight that are going to affect us most from fantasy. Denver Nuggets. Jokic is questionable again. He's missed each of the last 3 games with a wrist injury. With the time off, there's a chance that he gets back. We don't have any current news from shoot-arounds or anything yet. So right now, he's questionable. If he is out, the top guys that have got the usage bumps over those last 3 games, Barton has gone from 20.7% season numbers before the Jokic injury to 23%. So almost a 3% boost there. And then Jeff Green goes up from 16% to 23%. So he's getting a lot of work down low, getting some extra shots down there. 7.4% more for him. So that is one situation we're going to be monitoring throughout the day and leading up to lock. The second one, and I'm only going to talk about the couple biggest ones here. I want to keep the videos fairly short, but the second biggest one that we're going to be looking at is Jaylen Brown is questionable. Boston's kind of concerned with his conditioning. He missed 8 games. He came back. He's played 2 games, kind of limited minutes, but before that he had missed 8 games over a span of about 2.5 weeks. Could be on a minutes limit again tonight if he does play. Whether he's out or limited would be a huge boost for Jason Tatum. Across, looking at all the games that Jaylen Brown has missed, he has seen a huge fantasy boost. His usage has gone from 29% to 34%. The rebounds from 10.3 to 12.4. That's per 100 possessions. And then fantasy points per minute has gone up from 1.06, which is awesome. Maybe not at his prices, but without Jaylen Brown in the lineup, he's gone up to 1.35 DK points per minute. I believe in those 2 games back where he was limited, he was around that 1.25, 1.28 fantasy points per minute. So still very, very good, even with Jaylen Brown limited. Those are some injury situations that we're going to be looking at tonight. Now let's jump over and have a look at a couple of plays that I am looking at early in the day. So you will be able to find all of my early plays in the All Players tab. Chris's picks, these are my plays. Green are going to be core. Blue are going to be secondary / GPP only. And then yellow will be some value plays that I like. I will fill in more throughout the day, but these are going to be my early plays as of now. A couple players that I'm keying in on as my favorites would be Ja Morant here, point guard for Memphis. Highest total in the slate, 225.5. Projected to be close. Memphis is a 1.5 point favorite here. He's taken a whopping 48 shots over the last 2 games. Take out that blowout loss to Milwaukee a few games ago where he was limited to 27 minutes. He's averaged 26 points, 5.3 rebounds, 6.8 assists, and 47 fantasy points per game over the last 5 games. Nice matchup as well. Atlanta's 25th in defensive efficiency and 23rd in fantasy points per game to guards. Next up, going down kind of into this mid-range here. Kenny talked about this in our Discord chat last. That would have been on Wednesday, the last big slate, 13 gamer, where he kind of avoids it. And this is a great cash strategy, is it just avoid the top guys over 10K and just concentrate on the mid-range. So this is kind of something that I'm looking at early in the day here. And Anthony Edwards stands out, shooting guard, small forward for Minnesota. It's one of 4 games with a total over 220. It's at 222.5, and is one of those 2 games of those 4 that are over 220 that has a close spread within 3 points. Minnesota is currently a 2.5 point favorite. For cash games, we're looking at about 35. We're looking for about a 35 point fantasy floor on DraftKings. That's right around that 5X. So that's what we're looking for out of him just as a floor. And he's hit that in 8 of his last 10 while averaging 41 DK, 40 FanDuel points in that time. So very, very good, very consistent fantasy points per dollar output. He's also flashed huge upside in that time. He has gone for 65 plus fantasy points twice in those 10 games. So he has huge upside in there as well. It's an elite matchup. Projected close game. Charlotte ranks, like I mentioned in the opening, 21st in defensive efficiency and 3rd in pace. Next up, absolutely love Josh Gatty here tonight, shooting guard, small forward for OKC. 5th highest total on the slate, 218.5. There's some risk of a blowout as OKC 7.5 point underdogs here. With SGA already been ruled out. He has missed each of the last 2 games, and Giddey in those 2 games has gone from a 20% usage rate to 27%. So that's a huge boost for him in terms of shots. He's also shot 50% from the field in that time with 14 rebounds and 16 assists. So not only is he getting extra usage, he's red hot, and he's adding those secondary stats with rebounds and assists big time. I think he's got 7 and 8 in each of those 2 games. A little bit tougher of a matchup versus Washington because they are 8th in defensive efficiency and only 23rd in pace. But the price is just too cheap for his current opportunity right now at 6,500 and 6,200. We're projecting him at almost 6x here. And that is fairly conservative at that 35 fantasy points for FanDuel and 39 for DraftKings, considering he's averaged 41, right around that 40 mark over his last 10 games. So it's a pretty good sample size of him averaging that. So I'm not concerned with the tough matchup here. He's got a high floor and a high ceiling. I also talked about Atlanta being a good place to target tonight. I do like looking at McCollum and Lillard here, point guard, shooting guard for Portland, 2nd highest total on the slate. They take most of the shots in the offense. Lillard has a 28% usage rate. McCollum has a 26%. So that is over 50% of the shots in the offense come from just 2 players. So those would be definitely the top 2. Bad overall matchup as Golden State is top defensive efficiency team in the league, but it is a pace-up matchup as they are a very fast-paced team, and they will need those 2 if this game is, if they want a chance to win or even to keep this game close. They're going to need those 2 players most definitely. For cash games, I lean McCollum here. He is much cheaper, and he's averaged 37 minutes, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 36 DK, 35 fantasy FanDuel points per game over his last 5. So that is right around that 5x projection. Most definitely on board with him. And then for GPPs, I do like adding Lillard in there for upside. A game stack might be something, it'd be a little bit more expensive, but if you want to put together 3 or 4 players, game stack in that one, thinking that game is going to be high scoring and stay close throughout, there's a lot of upside there. All right, that concludes my top plays. A look at the injuries for tonight. Make sure to stay tuned to our Discord as well as the DFSR chat for any injury news that comes in throughout the day. Projections will change on the sheet throughout the day, as well as my picks on the All Player / Chris's Picks tab. And then closer to lock, about an hour and a half before lock, you're going to start seeing Kenny's position ranks and his top value picks. He will be in Discord as well. Excuse me, talking about his favorite picks, injury situations, strategies, that sort of thing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the Winning Picks channel later tonight. Happy green screens, everyone.